Welcome back to the Waking Space, people. This is Why We Buy Part 2. We're going to start getting into the effects of consumerism, and most interestingly, I want to get into the root causes of consumerism. And if anybody was wondering, this was an actual sneaker idea that Adidas came up with that for some reason didn't sell. One of the major effects of consumerism is massive consumer debt. We're talking trillions of dollars just in US consumer debt alone. In fact, millions of Americans seek the help of a bankruptcy counselor every year. Where did all this debt suddenly come from, right? Things have gotten more expensive because of inflation, but we're also buying a whole lot more than we need. The next major effect of consumerism is global resource depletion. Listen, we don't have to be a hippie, we just have to understand math. This is limited resources, finite planet. We only have this one planet. So until Elon Musk gets us to Mars, we really should worry about how much supply we have left. Like take water, for example. It takes a ridiculous amount of water just to make a single product. I mean, look at this. A car takes 15,000 gallons of water. And this isn't dirty water that nobody wants anymore. This is municipal water that could be filtered and drank instead of making bed sheets. Water has become a limited resource in this world, and we have to watch our depletion of it. Somebody has to pay for our consumption levels, and it's usually the third world. But we're running out of third world countries to dump our crap on, so it's coming our way. I mean, these are some of our computers. This is some of our garbage that these people are swimming through. We have to get past this out of sight, out of mind mentality. This one's a lot more subtle, but I think it's more terrifying. We've actually identified our role on this planet as consumers. Nothing else. So much so that if we stopped consuming, we'd kind of be lost. The psychological and health effects are pretty apparent when you just look around. The ever-increasing need for more leaves us stressed out and depressed. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. We've become crazy over-dependent on technology. I mean, this is my favorite example. A long time ago, somebody was tired of climbing the hill, right? So they invented stairs. This dude was probably so famous after that he became like instant chief of the tribe. And then we're like, man, even that's too hard. So we invented stairs that brought us to the top of the hill on their own. And then we got so lazy and out of shape by not climbing the hill anymore that we now need to go to the gym or use stair climbing equipment to get back into shape. I mean, just think about that for 2 seconds. It's kind of mind-blowing. Look, if this worked, I wouldn't be here making this video, right? But the fact is, it just doesn't work. This doesn't bring us happiness. It might bring us a little dopamine hit every now and then, but that's not happiness, right? That's addiction. I don't really need to say anything here, right? We've all seen the crazy videos. We've all heard the depressing stories. I mean, we all realize that it's now slowly creeping into our Thanksgiving meals. Some people can't even enjoy that because they have to go to work that night. I mean, think about how nuts that is. We sit there at Thanksgiving and we give thanks for what we have, and then we go out shopping 2 hours later. Okay, please do yourself a favor and watch the movie Fight Club if you haven't seen it. I know you think it's some weird guy movie, but it's actually one of the best anti-consumerism movies ever made. Based on a book by Chuck Palahniuk, also amazing. So I'm just going to read you some of my favorite quotes because it's that good. Advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy stuff we don't need. I mean, looking back, I used to watch that show Cribs. I mean, I spent hours of my life, this was my time to relax, I spent hours of my life watching somebody else show me all their crap. Yo, so this is some of my crap, this is my crap in my garage, here's some crap in my fridge. I mean, how ridiculous is that? You buy furniture, you tell yourself this is the last sofa I will ever need in my life. Buy the sofa. Then for a couple years you're satisfied that no matter what goes wrong, at least you got your sofa issue handled. Then the right set of dishes, then the perfect bed, the drapes, the rug. Then you're trapped in your lovely nest, and the things you used to own, now they own you. Yeah. This is what they want from us. This is what those companies want, but this is not what I want for myself or for any of you. Okay, I could go through a lot of examples of these, but let's just try two. Shelter. Sure, Need versus want. Yeah, we all need shelter. But nobody on this planet needs this kind of shelter. Not even the Duggars. Sunglasses. Sure, I'll give you that. You need sunglasses. These are from like the dollar store. These are about $200 Oakleys. I'm not sure you guys realize how bad we're getting played here. A lot of the times, the stuff that's made at the dollar store is made in the same factory for about the same price. Now this is where things get interesting. The root causes. One of the primal causes of consumerism is something called identification. Now identification, that's an old Buddhist term. Identification with stuff means we actually think we are our possessions. Now that sounds strange, but think about it for a minute. We do cling to these things very strongly as if they were a part of us. That's my car. That's my house. And when those things go away, when they get stolen, we get really upset, like a part of us was stolen. So this is one of the primal causes. We identify with our stuff. Our ego actually tries to get permanence through identification with stuff. Now going along with this is the ego's constant craving for more. Having is so temporary, so the ego is constantly craving more and more. Now, this makes sense in a way, right? I mean, if the ego really does believe I am my stuff, well then the more stuff I have, the more I am. So at its core is really a fear of death. The ego is terrified of death, so it clings to anything that can bring it more permanence. And stuff, well, it lasts a bit longer than people do. We can also use stuff as props, like actors in a play. One of my favorite things to wear was my teacher jacket, right? I felt like a teacher. I'm playing this role. I have my prop of teacher jacket. When I got home and put on my sweats, I was playing the role of lazy dad. We can use stuff also to compensate for feelings of low self-esteem. We all do this. I mean, this guy I just feel bad for, right? I mean, what he's really screaming to the world is, look, I'm not me. I'm this truck, right? I'm these clothes I wear. I'm these sneakers. Please, just like me. And lastly, we can use stuff in order to get into our tribes, right? It's our way in. It's our ticket to conformity. We just buy what everybody else is buying, and we're automatically part of that tribe. Now, this is something we all fall prey to: distraction from pain. Also called retail therapy, right? And we even joke about this, right? Yeah, it's just my retail therapy. I shop when I'm sad. It's like, let's think about this for a moment. You shop when you're sad. Instead of just feeling sad, we go out and we distract ourselves from our emotions. Or if we're feeling angry, or if we're feeling trauma and pain from the past, instead of dealing with that pain, right, we push it down underneath the surface and distract ourselves with stuff. Another Buddhist idea is this idea of the hungry ghost. That's him right there. Giant belly full of craving, tiny little neck, so it never actually gets fulfilled. That's us. We're hungry ghosts because we're going about this all the wrong way. We have this scarcity mindset where we think something's lacking in us and we try to fill that with physical objects, but the physics just doesn't work out, right? I mean, you can't fill an emotional and spiritual void with something physical. It doesn't work. So not a house, not a boyfriend, not a car. It just doesn't work out. So we face some pretty strong obstacles if we want to change our consumeristic habits. First one and most powerful is peer pressure. This ain't your after schools, peer pressure kind of stuff. Peer pressure is one of the most powerful forces that humans face. Our lizard brain is always constantly trying to keep us in the tribe so that we survive, because to be alone means death to the lizard brain. So the best advice I can give you for any kind of peer pressure is to find an ally. Find one or two people who are on board, they want to change too. Great, now you've found your own little tribe, and that way your lizard brain can calm down. The next one is economic propaganda. You'll hear this from all over the place. Even presidents have said, hey, go out and buy, boost the economy. This is the way we got to do it. Go buy stuff. It's like we have to find another way. And just straight up habits, right? I mean, habits are very powerful. They're ingrained in our brains. So we have to start slowly, try something for 21 days, baby step it out. And this way we can get past our consumerism. So here are some things that we can do. First is practicing contentment. I get it, it's not easy. But the more content we are with our lives, the less we have to try and get it from stuff, right? We decide what we need when we need it, not some company, not some celebrity. Be mindful. As in most things in life, mindfulness helps with everything, right? So ask yourself the next time I'm buying something, why am I buying this? Am I sad? Am I distracting myself? Am I bored? Do I actually need this? Mindfulness will help. And shop smart. The good news is that there are so many good companies out there now. With a little bit of research, we can find them. We can say, oh my gosh, look, they're fair trade, they care about the environment, their prices are okay, they're making their stuff with quality so it lasts a long time. So those are some things we can do. Buy what we need, what will last from really good companies. Even if it costs a little bit more, it's worth it. And again, hippie or not, we all need to start thinking green. We have this one planet. It's not going anywhere. It's a limited resource. And we have to get over our stigma for buying secondhand, right? People go, oh, it's used. It's like, dude, get over yourself. eBay has lots of great stuff. Craigslist has lots of great stuff. There's no reason to make new products when there's perfectly good items out there. So here's a very real and practical thing you can do right after watching this video. Go through your closets. There's nothing better than getting rid of a ton of stuff that you no longer need. Only keep what brings you joy. That's the KonMari method. If you've never heard about it, check it out. There's a whole Netflix show about it. You will literally feel lighter afterwards. It's great. This is a little harder for a lot of people, but ask for less this Christmas, right? I mean, think about all the things you got last Christmas or the year before that. How much of that stuff is still around? How much of it still brings you joy? A lot of it we've tossed already. Enjoy the intangible, which is like hanging out with family and having fun. Really, just give yourself a break. Most of us didn't know how deep this consumerism issue went. So now that you know, you can do something, but give yourself a break for not knowing until now. Remember that quote from the first video. The less we have, the less we have to worry about. We have to stop identifying ourselves with our stuff. We're not our stuff. We're not our things. At the end of the game, the king and the pawn go back in the same box. What are we doing trying to amass all of this stuff? We can't take it with us, right? We're not the Egyptian gods. I hope you got something out of this consumerism lesson. And again, just take it easy on yourself. Baby step it. Thanks for listening.